You know who I mean. The Witcher was here. I could still smell his stench. Did you tell him?
Don't worry. We didn't mention anything about your employer.
Or what he's really got planned for Cirilla of Cintra.
What do you know about his plans?
Please, not the cat.
Tell me everything.
Now headed for 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿, Ciri and Yennefer make a pit stop at a small village, where the townsfolk celebrate their continued rebellion against the Northern Kingdoms. As a royal messenger named 𝐒𝐴𝐴𝐵 shows up with a letter from King Demavend of Aedirn, Yennefer also sends a secret message to Tasaya, announcing her forthcoming arrival at 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿. However, as the messenger departs, Ciri experiences another ominous vision, putting Yennefer on high alert. Meanwhile, Geralt and Jaskier arrive at 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐿's Fenn's shop of knowledge, searching for information regarding the fire mage Rience. There, they learn that the mysterious sorcerer who hired Rience operates out of a rundown castle called Vulpan, located near Redania. 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐿 and Fenn also reveal that the mage Istredd is looking for Ciri, and suggest that Geralt fakes Ciri's death, possibly by killing another young girl who looks like her. Disgusted by the notion of sacrificing an innocent child to save Ciri's life, Geralt sets off for Vulpan, and leaves Jaskier behind for his safety. Back in Cintra, Emperor Emhyr visits the local blacksmith, who has just finished work on his trusty sword. Recalling his violent experience in previous battles, he vows to end all wars by taking control of the entire continent. In the dungeons below, Fringilla toils away in shackles, imprisoned by Emperor Emhyr and forced to drink copious amounts of potentially poisoned wine. Elsewhere, Yennefer and Ciri travel to a local market and meet with the portal weaver, Kira, who agrees to open a passage to 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿. However, before they can depart, a disheveled bounty hunter with an imprisoned child interrupts, demanding a portal immediately. When Ciri has a vision of the child's imminent death, she cuts him free, sending his captor into a rage. Without weighing the consequences, Yennefer uses her magic to kill the bounty hunter and save Ciri, but soon finds out that the man was employed by an extremely powerful socialite named Dominic Huvnagel. As Kira escapes, Yennefer and Ciri are left empty-handed, forcing them to flee on foot. At 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿, the Brotherhood of Mages argue over the war effort in the north, but are interrupted by Tasaya. Artorias suggests that Triss should return to King Foltest's court in Temeria to ease the growing tensions, but even when Tasaya agrees, Triss refuses. Instead, Triss goes to check on one of her students, Nissa, but finds her room abandoned with a streak of blood left on the wall. In Redania, Dijkstra and Philippa share a session of therapeutic whipping, helping the masochistic spymaster clear his mind. Impressed by Prince Radovid's wit, Philippa encourages Dijkstra to befriend him. In Radovid's chambers, Jaskier comes to visit and shares the information that he learned from 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐴 and Fenn. After playing a quick tune, Jaskier shares a tender moment with Radovid before the bard bids farewell. After escaping from the market, Ciri and Yennefer continue toward 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿. On the way, Yennefer warns Ciri about meddling with destiny. To help give Ciri some perspective, the pair make a quick detour toward Yennefer's old home. Meanwhile, Geralt arrives at the dreary Vulpan castle and carefully makes his way inside, expecting an ambush. Elsewhere, 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿 fights as a lowly conscript for Emperor Emhyr, raiding caravans in the forest. After endless hours of brutal fighting, 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿 is almost bested by a group of swordsmen, but he is saved at the last minute by Galatine. Sick and tired of losing men due to Francesca's crusade, Galatine conspires with 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿, planning to overthrow Francesca and become the leader of the elves. In the dungeons, Fringilla also plots her escape, and finds an opportunity when a fellow inmate dies from alcohol poisoning. Hidden in the body bag, Fringilla is hauled out of the city and thrown in a ditch with the other dead bodies, finally free from captivity. Meanwhile, Geralt searches Castle Vulpan and fails to find the sorcerer. Instead, he is greeted by a trio of disembodied heads and a traumatized yet unharmed young girl. When Geralt tries to save the girl, he is attacked by a massive and grotesque flesh beast, controlled by the three heads. After a tough battle, Geralt slays the beast and escapes the castle with the young girl, now having more questions than answers. That night in Redania, as King Vizimir holds court and enjoys dinner, Prince Radovid tells Dijkstra and Philippa about the information he learned from Jaskier. While Philippa leaves to take advantage of the new info, Dijkstra and Radovid discuss King Vizimir and his rule. While Dijkstra is confident in his role as a spy master, he is distressed when he learns that Vizimir has been meeting with officials from Nilfgaard in secret. Minutes later, Rience arrives at Codringer and Fenn's shop, setting it on fire and killing them in the process. Back at Aretuza, Tasaya receives the letter from Yennefer and consults with her partner Vilgefortz. Although Tasaya worries about how Yennefer will be received by the other mages after she freed 𝐒𝐸h𝐢 from execution, Vilgefortz promises to put aside his differences and forgive her. As they lay down for the night, Vilgefortz also gives Tasaya a special necklace, claiming that it has protective abilities. The next morning, Ciri and Yennefer finally arrive at the barren site of Yennefer's old home. Through a shared vision, Ciri witnesses Yennefer's upbringing and her quest for beauty and power, which led to the fractures between the Brotherhood and the Northern Kingdoms, within the Brotherhood itself, and even turmoil throughout the entire continent. With renewed context, Ciri begins to understand just how detrimental her powers can be, if wielded for personal gain. Elsewhere, Geralt guards the young girl as she wakes up from her night's rest, and is surprised when the girl calls him by name and claims that she is Ciri.
We're tied by destiny.
Who are you?
Don't be silly, Geralt. You know who I am. I'm Ciri.